Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dicey Decisions Zeros to Heroes, our new Monday night streaming campaign. Um, my name is Jack. I'll be your DM. And with me are the players. There's Daniel. And there's Becca. Over there's John. And there's Juliet. And Mel. And we are starting a campaign that's a little bit different. We're starting from level 0. And this we're trying to learn how their whole lives took shape and moved them forward. So, without further ado, we're going to relax and let our minds drift through time and space. Let your imagination wash over you. Clouds cross your vision and open back up, and you see yourself falling toward a planet, across the plains, to the foot of the mountains. We zoom in on a small village with a brook running through it. Fields and forests all around. The sun setting in the evening is crisp and cool. A gentle breeze rustles through the leaves and the treetops. The sky fading from orange to purple. Nestled in the western foothills of the Iron Seat Ridge, straddling the babbling four-hoof brook, the village of Gladewell and its inhabitants can barely contain the excitement of its coming days. The celebration will mark Gladewell's 500th year. There'll be food and drink aplenty, of course, but the excitement lies in much more than that. Gladewell is being recognized this fall by the mighty faraway city of Iman as a village of worth. Few villages this far out have been so recognized, and the Council of Gladewell understands the economic and social impact of such recognition. Already, dignitaries and representatives of all sorts are arriving with wagons and tents, and the wafting aromas of faraway and cultured spices and perfumes have caught the local attention. Parents are holding their young ones indoors tonight to avoid the impending chaos, while the children and young adults peer through windows and make excuses to go to the well or to check on the flock. See, being a village of worth, or a town of worth, or a hamlet, or any place recognized by its worth carries weight. This village will soon become a recognized way stop between Iman and Kemal. There will be more trade and new experiences as travelers pass through. Gladewell goods, grains, pigs, lumber, all the local flavors will be appreciated by people so far away. Artists' signatures will cross the seas. There will be an Iman presence, though, a protection against the ever-present anxieties created by proximity to Kemal, the Kemal which should have recognized them long ago. But most of all, more opportunities will arise for those seeking them. Real opportunities for the first time offered to the young people here in Gladewell. Guild officers, academy masters, military recruiters, and many more will be offering sponsorship and training to worthy candidates. Tomorrow, most of the people from miles around will gather here in Gladewell. Boys and girls who have long seen one another from a distance will be meeting. The taverns will be full, their food, stores, and drinks selling quickly. The town leaders have assembled fireworks shows for the evenings. There'll be vendors and performers stopping in, and the town watch will be busy. Anyone who wishes will be competing for patronage and the chance to leave Gladewell, though lovely it may be. There are those who long for more. Gladewell holds those who are dreamers, hotheads, leaders, and followers, those who aspire to know the wonders of Arcanum, explorers, and those who would go into the world to find themselves. But tonight, The lights of Gladewell sparkle from the widest dammed pools in the brook. The mill wheel quietly turns, splashing its forever tune. Stars above twinkle in the night sky. Watching from the nearest hill, a fox licks its lips at the smell of a nearby chicken coop. The flock now roosting, caged alongside a home. The small creature gazes out from its cover under a huckleberry bush and looks across the water over the short stone wall and watches a large dog inside the gate lift its head from its paws. The fox freezes, ears swiveling. Too much movement tonight. The dog stands and walks out of sight, following its nose. Laughter rings out across the water. A pair of young two-legs walk hand in hand over the small bridge and race away down the trail toward the forest. The red fox slinks belly low beneath the cover of a berry bush and gives the village a wide berth, eventually sneaking back in close near the mill wall. The two-leggeds have passed. He sniffs the ancient crumbling wall for any sign of a meal. These stones are older than old bones. At least the water's clean. It belly crawls to the edge of the artesian spring-fed pond and laps quietly. The hound raises its head again, sniffing, casting for scent. The fox picks up a deep rumble across the water from the dog's chest. He waits a beat. There's often food in the village, and the smells this night of roasting meats makes his mouth practically ooze. The dog's rumbles increase in volume. Well, this is not his night. Feeling the village's held excitement, the energy waiting to be released, the masked fox decides better of tempting fate, and it melts back into the green. Our vision casts along the ridge and finds three young people sitting on the nearest hill to town, watching from the hillside as the lights sparkle and reflect off the water. Fireflies start to glow across the fields and in the woods. From up here, you can see the tents in the distant fields. The moon, just a sliver, is starting to rise behind them. Pieta, can you describe your character?
My character is um, a little on the scrawny side, where it looks like whenever he wears his robes or shirt, he looks like a lanky kid, but he does a lot of chores around the house. He's half elf and shaggy, a little bit of shaggy hair. He wears glasses and a little shy, um, but has big dreams.
And sitting next to him are his two friends. Harry is an elf and Mari is a half elf. And Mari shivers and rubs her arms. Says, well, what are you guys going to do first tomorrow? And Harry said, grease pig for sure, grease pig. How about you, Pieta?
Grease pig. Oh, classic Harry. Oh man, I don't know. I think,
Classic Harry. I've never done that before.
yeah. Well, if it isn't pigs, it's something else, huh?
I,
uh,
yeah, I guess I've caught a lot of greased things.
Mostly chickens, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's good practice. I mean, chickens are hard to catch when you just go for it. What are you thinking,
Man,
Harry? Pieta?
you know, I keep getting told by my classmates that I should try for the school, wizarding people. I'm not quite familiar why or how. I guess I do have a knack for it, but just something doesn't feel quite right with that. Yeah, okay, fine. Listen, I'm pretty okay at it, pretty good, but I just something doesn't feel right. I don't know. I just kind of want to go explore and see kind of what I find and run into. That sounds like fun. Do you guys want to come along and see what we bump into? Doesn't that sound fun adventuring?
I mean, sure, I'm gonna be there, but I don't know if I want to go talk to the wizards.
Come
And
on,
Mari says, go ahead.
it could be an adventure. It could be something like we could be like pirates from a story, or I don't know. We could be just some cool people from a story going around. It's like a fairy tale or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never thought of myself as a caster. Shooting bows and pulling out a sword sounds better to me. I don't know. I guess it might just depend on the people that we see. Like, I hope they're cool people who are down there in those tents and not just some like old guys. I don't know. It might just depend.
Yeah, imagine they were just all old. Kind of be weird to talk to them, huh? Oh, but swinging a sword, that sounds pretty cool. I've always thought fighting would be pretty cool, though. I don't
I
think I'd be
mean,
much
we've
of a
done enough
fighter.
stick fighting to at least think I, maybe we could be pretty good at it. I don't know. I guess I'm wide open. I just never thought of myself as a magic user.
I mean, yeah, you kick my butt mostly every time when when we're doing stick fights. Did you? Ah, I don't like it when you let me win. You know I don't like that.
Oh, I
Good.
don't let you win. He looks over at Mari and she says, guys, yeah, I'll be down there. I never wanted to leave Gladewell. I love it here. My family's here. Don't, I don't necessarily need to go anywhere. But, I mean, I think everybody's going to be down there checking things out. Harry goes, are you kidding me? You're going to stay here your whole life? She says, yeah, maybe. What's wrong with that? Oh, I guess nothing, but there's so many things in this wide world to see and to learn. I mean, places to go. We've heard stories about monsters. Heck, we've ever even, the story about monsters around here. There was that ogre one time, pack of
Yeah.
wolves.
Haven't you ever had any dreams, Mari?
Yeah, I've had I've had lots of dreams, but they involve being happy, not being stressed out and pushing myself to the limits. I mean, I've got lots of things to do here and I'm happy here. Just finished school. I mean, now I can work full time and it seems like this is the best place.
Yet is a little kind of saddened and let down by that, but he doesn't. He tries not to show it, just because he hopes in his fantasy mind that he wishes they just stick together forever because they're his best friends and he wants to go out and venture with them or just live life. But Pieta wants to go out and see the world, and that's why he got saddened by Mari's comment there.
Amari looks past Harry at you and looks at your face and she says, even if I just stay here, you'll know where we are, where you'll always come home, right? Gladewell is home, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Even if we go our separate ways, we can always come
Yeah.
back. That's a good point.
She reaches across. She grabs Harry's hand and reaches across him to your hand and holds both of your hands together and she says, "You're my best friends. I'll never, no matter what happens, you're my best friends. And if life takes you in one direction and me in a different, that won't change. I won't change. Listen, I'm not I don't have any plans. Like, I'm not racing off to be married or be someone's wife. I'm fine, but I like what I do. I like making I like weaving and making the beautiful art that I've made, the rugs, the tapestries. I'm good at it. I'm already good at it. And people appreciate it. And now I can make them and sell them with Iman's influence here. People might, if I keep working, people might see my name from all over the world and maybe come here looking for my work. That is, that's my greatest dream right now. We're just kids, kind of, just out of school. The whole world is our opportunity, but it takes a lot of practice, and I just got to keep working. I know what I want to do.
All right, all right. There, enough of that. Let's just enjoy tonight, and get a good night's rest for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day, huh?
Really? Mari says, don't you want to sneak down into town and see what's going on? Are you ready to go to
Okay,
bed? Harry
you
goes,
got.
I'm down. Let's go. Let's go.
But oh, all right, I guess I'm coming along.
Are you nervous? What's the matter?
I mean, I told Aunt May throw that. Well, I guess she might be asleep, but I told her I'd be back before it gets too late.
Look at the moon. It's just past dark. What time do you need to? Is there a certain time?
I guess I didn't tell her exactly what time. Oh, yeah, that could be like an excuse. I could tell her, um, I lost track of time and I forgot what time I told you. Yeah.
Mari just takes off running down the hill toward town, and Harry takes off after her. You're sitting up.
Guys, you. All right, here we go.
So you follow them down?
Yeah.
All right. She runs down the hill, across the fields to the old mill, and then jogs across the bridge and walks into town. Harry's right behind her, and you're right behind him. And you step into town, and instantly when you're in town, you feel the excitement, the vibe, the feeling of town is just excitement. You hear a lot more voices. You hear more smells. Usually at night in Gladewell, it's pretty quiet. But tonight there are people moving around. Very few kids out, but adults um, doing things at the stables. They're brushing down horses that you've never seen before. Some big war horses are in there. The tavern is just bustling. Um, you see a couple of the town guard go jogging up a street in a direction, and Mari points at them. And as they get out of sight, she sneaks. She says, "Let's go follow them. Let's see where they're going. They seem like they've got something good. Let's go." And she starts jogging after, trying to stay in the shadows. And Harry looks over his shoulder, is like, should we? Let's go. He
We gotta
turns and
go.
goes. You follow?
Yeah. We can't just let
Okay.
her go alone.
Um, you know that Mari is a very free-spilled, free-willed, spirited person. And she has always been braver than you and Harry, and always been willing to take risks, which is kind of surprising that she doesn't want to leave Gladewell. But she runs, and you guys see the guards when you go to the end of the street. The guards have turned the corner and gone to a different street, and they're picking some guy up off the ground. And Mari gets to within about 30 feet of him, staying in the shadows and pretending not to look, but clearly listening to the conversation. She looks back over her shoulder at Harry and you walking up. She goes, just symbols for you to be quiet. Come here. And you hear the guards. They're dusting this guy off and asking him what happened. And telling him to go back to his tent and next time not drink so much. And you see another person out on their porch, a lady with a broom, and she yells across, "He just tried to come right inside my door." The guy that's being picked up is like, "I thought I was home already." And the guards just kind of, one hand underneath arms, start walking him away. And Mari turns around and starts cracking up. That was awesome. What else can we find?
Mari, we're gonna get caught. We almost got caught. That was guards, right?
Yeah. Well, so? It was just Jara. She wouldn't turn us in. You know Jara. We all know Jara. Jara is a member of the Watch. She is a half orc. She's got dark hair and green eyes. And just like most of the Watch, she wears leather armor. She carries a warhammer. But she's got the Watch uniform. Basically, it's a crimson band tied around her left arm. And but she's always been pretty cool to the kids around here. And she's one of the leaders of the Watch. And you look over there, and yeah, this is Jara, and she's walking this guy back, trying to wake him up a little bit, patting him on the back and jostling him, not to be mean, but just to get him aware that he is shit-faced and to find out where he lives. And Mari says, "All right, what else? What else should we do? You want to sneak into the tavern? Maybe we could get in."
I look
What do
at
you
Harry
think?
for answers.
Harry looks back at you. "I don't know. What do you think, Pieta?"
My instincts strongly say no.
"I've been in there before with my dad. He let me go in once. A couple times, actually. Didn't let me drink anything, but
Wait,
I've been inside during the day, not at night."
that kind of makes me jealous. Okay, why don't we just look out the window? Let's just look out the window and just see what's inside.
"We'd have to go up on the front porch," Mari says, "and everybody would see us. Might as well just walk in. What can they do?" And she starts walking across the street, down the street toward the tavern.
Pieta kind of turns back and goes like, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea." Oh, there, she's already walking. And then he proceeds to follow her.
All right. So Mari, you guys are, what age is Pieta and his friends?
I had in my notes that they were like, maybe 2 years from graduating whatever wizard school they're in, or
Let's say
school they're in.
17-ish. Can we say
Yeah.
around there? Okay.
I was thinking 16, 17.
Yeah. So Mari, having worked all day, her hands are slightly stained with cloth from the loom, different dyes. Her hair's pulled back. She's wearing an apron. She could probably pass for anything from about 15 to 25, as many young women could. And so she just proudly walks right up the steps and starts stepping through the door. And the door swings open. She's gone. Harry turns towards you, goes, "Shh. He did it. Shit." And he goes and ducks right inside. You're on the porch.
Here goes.
As you step toward the door slams open, and a huge, burly soldier from Iman is standing in the door. And he, "What do you want, kid?"
I'm just here for a good, relaxing night, man. What are you talking?
You're coming inside?
Yeah.
All right. He stands aside, he points to the door and slaps you on the back to push you in. The place is really crowded. A bunch of soldiers, a bunch of locals that you have seen, there's some farmers in here. There's the blacksmith is in here. A lot of people that you've seen, around town your whole life are now just sitting all over talking. It's loud. There's a little music playing. There's a flute player off on the side in this wild spangled outfit with blues and silvers, playing the flute and dancing around with little bells jingling. It just seems chaotic. And Mari and Harry are just right inside the door with their backs up against the wall, looking around wide-eyed.
I kind of
They look at you.
scoot towards them. Guys, we should probably get out of here. Guys,
Mari's face looks scared. Not scared, but certainly intimidated. And she looks at you, and she looks like she's about to agree, and then her expression changes. She smiles. She says, I'm going to order something. And she takes off toward the bar. You and Harry are left standing by the wall. As she disappears, one of the serving people comes around. It's a man. He's got green hair that goes up in kind of a mohawk-looking thing. He's got pointy ears. He looks like he's at least part elf, maybe full elf. A very skin-tight not costume, but uniform. He's got a big sash wrapped around his waist that he wipes his hands on. A tray in one hand and a crate under an arm. He goes, hello, what are you kids doing in here? Just come in for a look, eh? Can I get you something, my lords?
yes, I'll
Yeah.
have what he's having.
You see Harry has kind of snuck out the door. Then can I get you something, my lord?
I'll have what he's having. I'll have what he's having. There, that
Just
guy.
kidding. I'm not serving you any alcohol. Get on out of here. Go back home. Celebration's tomorrow.
You recognize me? Don't I look like okay? I'm actually. Do you mind if I just hang out for a little bit? I just want to see the cool bright lights a little bit longer. I'll get out of here in a few minutes. You mind if I just hang out for a little bit longer?
Nope. Out you go now. You can sit on the front porch if you like. Out.
Oof. Oh, oh! I really have to pee. I really have to pee. I really have to pee. Oh,
Pee outside. He looks over his shoulder at the bouncer, a big dude that you've seen before. He's an intern with the blacksmith, and he's like sometimes his security here, and clearly that's what he's doing. He's over on the other side of the door, just bored, looking at his fingernails, trying to clean the dirt out from between them. He doesn't catch this waiter's eye yet, but the waiter's about to call his name.
I'm walking out, but it's gonna smell bad out there, and it's gonna be your fault. And I'm gonna be like, oh, he told me to be out there, okay?
He doesn't even talk to you anymore. Just make sure you walk out.
I go outside and try to find Harry.
Harry's waiting for you on the front porch.
Dude, have you seen Mary? What?
She's still in there.
We gotta get her out.
What? We don't have to get her out. She'll be out soon.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just kind of scared for her. I worry about her, man. I don't know.
As you guys are talking, you see the mayor walk across the street. Not towards you, but across the street from somewhere, and go walking past and passing down the street. And next to him is walking a man in very fine, expensive clothing. Probably the nicest clothing you've ever seen. He's got short brown hair, a little pointy beard. His mustache goes straight out to the side into points. He's got jewelry like this string of gold around that's tying this little half cape onto his shoulder. His boots have little jingle bells on them, and his spurs are ringing out as he walks around. And he and the mayor are talking and pointing to different things and gesturing. And uh, following along behind them is a small retinue of other people. A couple guys in red robes, couple people in green robes, and a couple people in gray robes just following this man along. And the mayor's walking by. As you watch, the sheriff jogs up to meet them and joins in with them as they walk down. They walk away. Harry says, let's go wait back by the mill, or what do you want to do? Because that's where she'll look for us when she comes out.
Shouldn't we just wait here? They told us we can hang out by the entrance.
Oh, they did?
Or they told me, yeah,
All right.
the porch area,
I
right?
just don't want to stay here in the light just in case somebody that my dad knows sees me.
Oh yeah,
I
your
mean,
dad's
I
a pretty big wig, huh?
just missed him. Did you just see him walk by right there? I don't know how he missed me, but I don't want to be seen.
Oh, that's who that was. No, it was a little dark, but he did look familiar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I mean,
mayor
okay.
is my dad. What do you mean familiar? Of course he's
I,
familiar.
I did. He's still in there. Okay, I got a lot of things going on. I'm juggling things, man.
Okay, but I just don't want to be seen in the light in case I. All right, look, I'm going to go stand over there. No, I'm going to go back by the mill. I know somebody's going to recognize me.
Fine. Okay. I feel like I'm nervous, but I think I should
Are you
stay and
kidding?
wait for
Just
her just to make
come.
sure she comes out
Come.
safe.
She's coming right out to the mill. You know she will. She knows, that's where she's going to look for us.
I don't like it, but it's on you if anything happens.
Of course not. What could happen? There's a million people around. The worst is she gets in trouble.
Fine.
He throws his arm over your shoulder. He's probably half a head taller than you and quite a bit burlier, and he kind of pulls you along with him. Hey, man, we tried. We tried. We've never gotten that far before, right? And he
Yeah.
guides you back toward the mill and across the little bridge. And after about 5 minutes, you see backlit a figure walking towards you, and it's Mary, and she opens her robe, and there's a big old flask of drink in her hand, and she pulls it back over her robe and hustles out, and you guys pass the stein around, and you get a taste of some fresh ale. From there, the scene's going to shift. We go back inside the crowded tavern, winding our way through the crowds of people, the newcomers, soldiers from Iman, a couple soldiers from Kemal with their brown regalia. We see people that we've never seen before, visitors, and the wait staff is very busy. But down at one end of the bar, one of the bartenders is leaning on the bar, not worried at all about the incredible volume of people calling out for drinks or anything, leaning down on the bar, talking quietly with a young dwarf who's seated at the end. Mel, can you describe Sunny?
Sunny is about a 40-year-old dwarf. She's around 4 feet tall. She has long jet black curls cascading down her back. They're all like intricately braided with colorful ribbons and different like tiny charms that tinkle softly with her movements. She has tan skin that's lightly freckled around the nose and cheeks, and she's very plump and stout. She's currently wearing a bright yellow tiered flowy skirt, and its layers are adorned with like bold geometric patterns and a chaos of colors of like reds, yellows, greens. Her blouse is like equally as vibrant blue, and it's an off-the-shoulder design with voluminous sleeves that gather at her wrist. And her ensemble is completed with like an assortment of different eclectic accessories, such as like mismatched earrings and a multitude of beaded bracelets and a wide-brimmed hat festooned with feathers and flowers. And she also has a necklace with a stone pendant that's attached to it. And she is in conversation with the bartender.
The bartender, for our watchers and our listeners, is also a dwarf. Her name is Thalindra. And let me see if I have a description yet. Thalindra is actually the owner and bartender, one of them, of the Twisted Stein, the name of the tavern that we're in. She's got bright copper hair and brown eyes. She's got lots of pouches all over her belt. And she leans down to Sonny and says, "Well, kid, take off your hat and stay a while. You always do."
My hat matches my blouse, and my blouse matches my skirt, therefore the hat has to stay on. But I will stay a while. There's so many people here, it's very strange.
She turns around and points down and whistles to somebody down the bar. And she holds up the two fingers, and that person quickly brings down two big glasses of foaming ale and slides them over, and she picks one up. She says, "Here's to you, kid. You're going to make it tomorrow. I don't doubt." And she holds it up to Clink.
Yes, I will. Also, do
Takes
you want
a-
to try my latest brew? I know we talked last week about how beer should be hoppy, so I've been working on my latest creation.
She slams down her drink and wipes her mouth. You brought it with you, did you?"
Yes, I have a jar in my backpack.
"Well, how could I say no? Pull it out."
Exactly my thoughts. All right, she bends over and ruffles through her backpack and pulls out a jar of beer and pours it into a cup and slides it over to Thalindra. Drink up. I'm very excited about this one.
"I was hoping you'd give me the jar. I don't like to drink out of a smaller cup." She puts her finger in, tastes it, thinks about it for a few minutes. She takes off one of her rings, looks like a copper ring, dips it in, smells it, licks it, puts it back on her finger. Huh. Picks
Hoppy
it up
beer.
and
I found a rabbit and I chopped off the feet and I ground it up and I added it in for extra hops.
she sets it down after taking a little sip. She resettles herself. "Sonny,
Do you like it?
what have I told you about adding proteins? It's
You
not
said hop.
going to work. Listen, hops are, you know what hops are, Sonny." She says, "One of these days you're going to make a beer good enough for me to buy it from you, or at least the recipe." But
I'd love
Sonny,
to do that. Are you saying this isn't that one though?
this is definitely not that one. She slides it back to you, kind of looks around, shakes her head. I don't guess there's any. Pulls out, reaches into one of her pouches and pulls out a pipe and tamps it down. "You got a light, Sonny?"
Let me check my backpack. I searched through my backpack.
Never mind.
And okay, good, because I didn't have one.
She digs around in her pouches until she finds something that works like a match, and that'll get the taste
That's
out.
pretty bad for you. What do you mean taste out?
Oh, don't worry about it, Sonny. Hey, it felt like it had just the right amount of carbonation. You're almost there, Sonny. Just avoid the proteins. I've given you 15 or 20 recipes. Why don't you just follow them till they work? If you want to add
They-
anything, use something like a plant product like cinnamon or cardamom. Something, but not protein.
I guess I can try that, but where's the creativity in that?
Lots of creativity. It's all about changing the recipe, making it work. And you know what? Let's try this. She whistles again for the guy who brought her the 2 beers before. Hey, come here. Try this one. She hands him the drink. He takes a sip and just spits it back out on the floor. What are you trying to do? Poison me? What is this? Never mind. Give it back. Go back to work. And so he goes off. See, Sonny, you can't put meat in beer. You can eat meat and drink
You think
beer.
he didn't like it?
I don't think he liked it. You think he liked it?
Well, maybe. We didn't ask if he liked it.
You can ask him later. I'm pretty sure he didn't like it. I didn't like it either, but I think you're getting there. Just avoid, say it with me, avoid,
Avoid
say it with me, avoid proteins.
avoid proteins. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what proteins are.
Yeah.
Meats. Keep the meats out of it. You could even try nuts. I guess nuts have some protein. You could try nuts, make a nutty beer. Just keep the meats out of it, okay?
So avoid proteins, except some proteins are okay. Got it. We'll
Keep
take
the
note of
meats out of your beer.
that. Yes.
She
And fish is not
burps
meat,
a
and bugs are
really,
not meat, and there's a lot of options here.
she makes a really big burp and she says, tastes the same coming back up. Ugh. So, what are you looking at tomorrow? I know you've dreamed about different possibilities, and we've been talking about this for months. What have you decided on? Or are you going to try everything?
Well, I don't really know what I'm good at other than making beer, so maybe a little bit of everything, but don't particularly like studying or books, so maybe not everything. But also, I kind of, well, I mean, I've never tried it before, but I've always thought I could put on a show. I don't know if they're having anything like that.
Well, you know they're doing performances. Performances tomorrow. They
Yeah,
put out the schedule.
been-
I got it tacked to the wall over yonder.
That's what that is.
Yeah, go
Thought you
take
were
a
just
look.
putting up a new poster of art.
Well, it's not art, it's instructions. Much like a recipe. If you take the time to read it and follow it, you might do better. Look,
I see.
and she points, tomorrow. You can find yourself a team. The first one who brings the flower back from the mountaintop is the winner. Probably dealing with teamwork or something. Tomorrow also is wrestling, sword fighting, arm wrestling. Tomorrow's also history and logic tests. Maybe, I don't know about that one for you, but maybe. That looks like it. The others are... Oh, no, that one's not tomorrow. It's a cooking challenge. Cooking is tomorrow. You can cook, and then there's performances. So, you got about 4 or 5 choices tomorrow to give it a shot and then you got just as many the second day.
Well, I like the idea of the performance and the cooking. I have part of a rabbit that I could use for the cooking competition.
Make sure it's not old and rotten. You might want to go get yourself a new coney. A couple
How
more.
old is too old? Like if
Well,
I put it in a stew and you cook it long enough, it's fine, right?
if it smells like it curls your nose ass before you cook it, then you probably shouldn't cook it.
Ooh, I probably shouldn't put it in the beer either then.
No, you shouldn't. You should never have put it in the beer, Sonny. Like I said, avoid the proteins. Keep the
That's
meats
certain protein.
out of your beer.
Got it.
Got it? Now, show me that puppet you've been working on.
Oh, okay. I reach into my backpack and I pull out it's a very eerie yet meticulously crafted creation. It's assembled from like preserved, ethically sourced animal parts, including like a possum for a head, and it has large rabbit ears currently on it. It has bat wings for arms, and it has a fox's tail. And the body is made out of brown cloth that is stuffed with like leaves and straw. This is Grim. Isn't he wonderful? I just added the ears on. See? I used all of the rabbit.
Yeah, he's a bit different from what you told me he was going to look like, but fucking hell, that thing. I tell you what, you can sew. Can barely see the seams in there. And it looks like you got no trouble getting meat to make your stew or whatever you're going to cook.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Yes.
You call him Grim, do you?
Yes, his name's Grim. He's great. I
It's
can't wait
something.
to do the performance tomorrow with him. Do you think the others will love him?
Remains to be seen, Sonny. Remains to be seen. That's amazing that you could make that thing look like it belongs together.
I like put Grim on my hand like you would a puppet, and I
Not in here,
have him,
Sonny.
like,
Not
look
it. No,
around
no,
the room.
no. Put him back under your cloak. That's enough for Grim tonight.
Okay.
Save it for tomorrow.
You know what? You're right. It should be a surprise for tomorrow, and I don't want anyone to see him before the performance.
Absolutely. Well, so you're performing tomorrow. That looks like, she looks at the chart. Looks like it's probably the last thing. Maybe right before dark. I'll try to be there. Where is it gonna be? Do you know yet?
Maybe it's on your instruction poster over there, but I'm assuming just somewhere in town.
Probably in Town Square. There's gonna be a lot of people watching. You ready for that?
Yes, I think it'll be fun. I can't see it going poorly. I mean, I think everyone's ready for this.
Don't forget to take out
Sure
your
they
trash
are.
can.
Sure they are. Well, here's to you. She raises her glass again. Clink. She takes another puff of her pipe and then taps it out. Well, that cleaned the palate pretty good. Want to try one of my new ones?
Yes, what does it have in it?
Well, and she starts talking to you about the recipe and brings it over to you. And as you guys share a drink, we're going to shift scenes again. To up the hillside, there's a tangle of old trees. And the roots are exposed on the hillside and they come down and it looks like they've been woven together to form the frame of a door. And between them is a little round door set into the side of the hill with a tiny porthole window looking out. And as we go inside, we're in the home of Rip and Pocket. Becca, can you describe Rip?
Rip is a kind of a skinny young gnome. They're in their mid-20s, but they look a bit older than that. They've got some wear and tear on their face. I said they're in their mid-20s, kind of skinny. I lost my train of thought. Their hair looks like it was cut short, but it's starting to grow back in that kind of wonky, gnomish way where it kind of sticks out in all sorts of different directions. They're pretty androgynous looking. They've got dark hair, dark eyes. And they pretty much wear a simple tunic and pants combo. Pretty unassuming kind of character.
And Pocket is a relative of Rip, and we're going to pick it up mid-conversation with Pocket saying, "There's really no reason to avoid everything. There's so many opportunities out there, and you don't want to be stuck with me in Gladewell for the rest of your life. You've got so many things to try. Now, I've told you time and time again, and of course I can't force you, and I wouldn't try to force you, but there's really nothing for you to do here with me. I do my responsibilities. I pray to the Dawn Lord every morning and perform the rites and rituals that come with my territory. I do the things that I need, and you've been a wonderful acolyte, but I really don't need you here. I'm not trying to drive you away, Rip, don't you understand? But I'm trying to let you look outward and see the possibilities that lie before you.
Yeah, I know. It's just there is a lot out there, and that's kind of what scares me, you know? I didn't even when you lived in our old village, that we didn't get out a whole lot. We were pretty secluded, and I think that's kind of why I like it here. It kind of reminds me of it, you know? Kind of quiet, kind of secluded.
Well, of course it is, but uh, again, I'm not trying to force you out, my dear young. What are you, my nephew or something? Rips.
Ooh, man, I hadn't come up with a
Let's call him. Let's just say Pocket calls you his
dear
nephew.
sweet Rip.
My dear nephew, again, I'm not trying to force you out into the world, but you've been here long enough. We've been outdoors almost every single day. The sky is always going to be blue. It won't change. The fields will always be green or golden or bare in the winter. They won't change much. The woods, the forest remain the same. It's not much unlike the underground. It remains constant. In general, there are just as many dangers if you wander underground than there are up here, and there are more friends here. You've made many acquaintances who could become your friends if you only give them a chance. Now, let's talk again. Let's not belabor the issue, but I just want to go over some choices. So, I know what you're good at, right? Remind me what you're so good at.
Well, I'm good at running. I've always been really good at running. And I did a really good job with bow and arrow practice back home. But I don't know, maybe I don't want to fight like that anymore.
Oh,
I've
no,
never really
tell
gotten a chance to do a lot of book learning. I don't even know if I'm good at that.
Well, you can read. We know that.
Yeah.
If you can read, you can do almost anything you like.
That's true.
There are druids and clerics, of which I am. You know, you could learn to do those skills and choose your favorite place in the world. There are, if you choose not to be a fighter, which you've seen a lot of fighting, and I understand your reticence to extend yourself in that direction, but if you're not interested in that, there are pursuits of the mind. You could be an arcanist or a mage or a wizard. So many things. Or you could just be an excellent cook. There's endless opportunities. One of the skills, several of the things tomorrow involve running. The quickest to finish a task will win the reward, if there is a reward, but you'll be noticed by the officials, the fastest ones to bring back the prize.
I don't know about being noticed.
Well, I mean, you have to be chosen, my dear. You have to allow the people who you're interested in to notice you so that they can accept you and embrace you into their tiers of learning and their specialities.
Yeah. If you see any things tomorrow you think I'd be good at, I don't know, point them out to me. Maybe I'll give them a shot.
I think you should try them all. I'll be
All
there
of them?
cheering you on, of course. What could go wrong? All they can do is tell you no. What else? What else is there to do? You're smart. You're smart as a whip. You could take the logic tests, the history tests. You could practice different skills. Oh, it seems fun. And even if you don't do it, we certainly want to be there out in the wide open to watch it happen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll try out some stuff tomorrow. I'll see what looks interesting. They said that you could chase a pig. I am a lot faster than the pigs back
Oh,
home.
can you tackle a greased pig? That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Maybe you'll be bigger than me.
Certainly could be. But I would imagine they'd use one small enough for people of our stature to pick one up, so it's probably a young greased
Yeah.
pig.
Yeah. There are a lot of talls in town, though.
Oh,
of those
yes.
tall
I mean, far more than half of the town population are very tall, much taller than gnomes and halflings. But, we have
Talking about that,
people.
they're huge.
However, they're not wittier or slyer than we.
Yeah, I guess we're pretty smart.
We have the wit and the intelligence. We have the guile and the wisdom. I tell you, my dear little Rip, you can do anything you put your mind to. I am a cleric of the Dawn, Father.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you've been on a lot of adventures. You adventured for a long time.
Well, it is true. I have had my share of close calls, but I'm not suggesting you go the same route as I've taken. Certainly not. But because the dangers, the world is fraught with them. But everything could be dangerous. You could go for a swim and knock your head on a rock, and that would be that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll meet up with Pieta and Stony tomorrow. I'll see what they're doing. Maybe they have some good ideas. Ooh, maybe we could do a team event together.
Perhaps. That Pieta doesn't look like he's very interested in doing much, but see if you can get that boy busy on something. Try to wake him up. Incite the
pretty
fire
busy.
within him.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll want to do a team event. What were the team events tomorrow? I forgot.
Well, catching a young dinosaur and bringing it back first. Or, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't think the dinosaur catching, the hadrosaur catching is tomorrow. That's probably the next day. Tomorrow is chasing down and finding a flower from the top of Mount Stag. It's not very far away. You could try that one with the team. You'd have to find the flower and be the first one back. But you mentioned Stony. Stony?
Yeah.
You really think that boy will amount to anything?
Well, I think he really...
I mean, he's a very fine boy. He's nice.
Well, yeah.
He's friendly. But he shirks responsibility in every direction.
Well, yeah. But, you showed me how to fix him up that one time, and I think I know enough medicine that if I'm with them, I can probably keep him safe.
If you can get him to run and engage, that would be quite something. That would be fun to watch. I can't wait.
Yeah, they'd have to keep up with me, which would be a lot, but I think they can do it.
Well, I'm certain
kind
you
of
could
keep up with me when we're in the forest.
Well,
Sort
if
of.
they are willing to run and run around and be part of everything, then by all means, I think you should team up with them if you can make it work.
Okay. Will you fold some grass stars with me tonight so I can keep them for luck tomorrow?
Of course, my dear boy. Of course I will. Shall we sit outside and watch the fading of the light and the changing of the stars as we fold?
Definitely.
Go. And he puts his hand over your shoulder and you guys walk outside. And the scene now shifts. We go floating over the town, passing the scintillating brook, passing the artesian well pumping out from the rocks, past the mill, into the town itself. This is a couple hours later, middle of the night. We go into a small wooden cabin, a cottage, located in town. It's a smaller dwelling. The doors are shorter than the tavern doors. The windows are lower on the walls. It's built for a short but stout folk. This is the home of a family of dwarfs. And we're going into the bedroom of one of these dwarves, lying on his bed, tossing and turning, his mind racing. John, can you describe Stony?
Stony, who is very short right now, might surprise people later to discover that actually he might be human. So, he's very short right now, but he's got curly hair and he has the little springs of wiry beard starting to form on his face. Not quite getting there yet. It's a little weird and patchy. He's very, very lanky, even though he's small. Doesn't seem to quite fit his body so much. Maybe his head is a little bit bigger than the rest of his body at the moment. But right now he's fidgeting with a little puzzle cube. And he puts it down, he picks it back up, and he puts it down and he tries to wrap his head around his pillow. Then he tries to pretend like he's going to sleep. Then he undoes his covers, goes over to the window, unlatches it, and attempts to make his way out of the house and to his family stables.
Via the window.
Via the window, yes.
Okay. Stepping outside the game just for a sec. If I mentioned that he was a dwarf and I'm mistaken, let's correct it right up front. Is he human?
He is human.
Okay. So scrub all that stuff about this short house. He's
No, I like that.
Oh,
I
okay.
like the fact that it's a short house. Yeah, it's Stony might come back later to his old house and hit his head and be like, that wasn't there before.
Okay.
In the future. But it's built for we could say it's built to accommodate both the human and the dwarf.
Cool.
So
All right.
it's short, it's small, it's stout, and it's tucked away in town.
Okay. Stony crawls out of his window and doesn't have to drop to the ground. The ground is right there. It's only like a foot and a half below the window. So Stony just crawls out, and it's louder out here than you can remember in town. One time, one of the houses in town caught on fire, and that was the other loudest night you've ever experienced. Tonight it's loud with laughter and people yelling occasionally and good-natured yelling. You hear people moving by, and you go over to your stables. Can you describe your family stable?
Yes, I can. So inside the stable or barn, I should say, inside this stable and barn, there are animals sleeping the night away. They've already curled up for the night, and there's sheep. There's horses. And at the very back, there are some cows. And Stony um, on a hook on the side of the entrance to the barn, there is a really rough blanket, and he takes it off, and he makes his way down to the last stall, and he greets his old friend, Mabel the cow. Mabel, darling, are you awake?
You hear crunch as she chews her cud.
Oh, wonderful. Mabel, I cannot get any sleep, my dear. Why, yes, I know the big day is tomorrow. It's so noisy, and I know I shouldn't be here, but I could really use your comfort before the big day tomorrow. I promise I'll wake up on time.
She shifts herself a little bit over to make room for you and then lifts her tail and a huge cow patty comes plopping down.
Really, was that necessary?
She crunches on her food.
Honestly, you're the one who makes me do all the work around here. And he goes back out, grabs a shovel.
Cleans it up. You notice there's another couple of horses in here that you were around when your folks, you live with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so your dad took in a couple horses and stabled them tonight for two riders who came into town. You're not quite sure who they are, but you know they are part of tomorrow's celebration, and they ran out of room in the big stables, so they found you guys. So these are two really beautiful, well cared for horses with their musculature is built for running. You can tell that they were lathered up, and you were the one who had to comb them down and clean off the sweat with hay, and then feed them their oats and grain. And in doing so, you understand that these are not horses. This is a different type of creature than the ones around here. You're familiar with plow horses and wagon pulling horses and the occasional riding horse, which is kind of a luxury in a small village like this. But these guys are traveling horses. You can tell that they're probably 15 years old, still in great shape. Their muscles are toned and full, and the horses themselves, they feel like they act like they're entitled to whatever they want. They kind of push your horses out of the way, and they eat all the hay and stuff. But they have. It seems they've been running for a while. They probably need this nourishment to keep themselves healthy.
Now, there's no need to be rude. There's plenty of hay for everyone. Here, munch on these, the finest amaranth that Ironbark Farms has to offer.
Oh, they greedily pull it out of your hands. Are you giving any to your friend Mabel as well?
Rude. But of course.
So she
I will
also
say best for
just
my
jerks
cow.
it out of your hand as soon as you stick it out. You're used to this. They eat with gusto. As you're doing these light chores after bedtime against your will, which of the events are rattling around in the back of Stoney's mind that have given him such, if not consternation or like sheer anxiety, maybe just excitement? What's going on in Stoney's head?
Well, I really need to get a job. Yes, one that I will be good at, and one that will make me lots of money. Of course, I am tired of working the farm, and of course, my parents are tired of me around the farm. So, well, of course I'm going to miss my friends Mabel, and I'll miss the library, but this could be an exciting opportunity. I'm sure Pocket and Rip will be fine on their own, and, well, Peter will find his own way, I'm sure. Well, of course I'm going to find a job. Right? Because
Would
that's what a ninebot
Stony
does.
would Stony have done any of the work that it would have taken to find out who the people coming are? Like, what kind of job is Stony thinking, and would he have gone to the lengths to find out who he has to impress?
That's a good question. Let me think on that for a sec. I don't think he quite knows who's coming.
Okay.
Uh,
Everybody knows the types of people who are coming.
yes, I don't think he quite expected this opportunity to come so hard and fast. But he's he's been thinking, well, I know that there are some alchemists seeking apprentices, but is that really what I want to do? To be making potions all day? I don't know. It would be fairly easy, but maybe I could be an arcanist. Wouldn't you like to see that, Mabel? I could cast a very mighty prestidigitation to clean you up, and I wouldn't have to go. Or maybe I could follow in my mother's footsteps. You know, mining is a lot of hard labor, but think of all the precious minerals. We could hit a massive amethyst geode, or we could come across an ancient civilization, the likes of which we've never seen before, that could have harbored magical trinkets and such. Oh, I'm just so unsure. But I think I'd choose the one that would have the most amount of enchanting. Yes, that's the one I would quite like. Wouldn't you agree, Mabel?
Mm.
Yes. I'm being quite full of myself. I'll turn it down.
Mabel noses around where you cleaned up her mess, and she walks to the other side of her little pen and settles herself into the hay. A big pile of straw next to her. Oh.
You are so right. I need to get some sleep, and what better way to sleep than with a trusted companion? Come here, you old cow. And he takes his blanket and drapes it over himself as he rests himself on Mabel in the hay.
And with the warmth nearby and the nice cool air around and the rough blanket wrapped tight and the hay snuggled down into the hay, sleep eventually crosses Stoney's mind and fills him with dreams of the coming day, of him succeeding in every event over and over, which carries him to dawn. The next morning starts bright and shiny. The day of the celebration is here. And you guys all wake up at home. Everybody knows what's going on. if you have siblings, they're just as excited for you as you are for yourself. Your friends will all be there. Some adults will probably be participating in these festivities and these events. You'll be competing mostly for fun, but you know that these people are going to be watching you for certain skills that you might have. And you know people are going to be wearing certain things that they've prepared just for the celebration day. There's been a lot of washing of clothes down by the brook. People are going to be nice and smelling good and happy and bringing foods to share with everybody and sample, and the whole city, the whole village is going to be there. Nobody's going to be sitting at home, or at least we think so. I'd like to bring us, before we go down, into Sonny's house. Sonny being the dwarf that we met in the bar, in the tavern. At home, her brothers and sisters are running all around, and Sonny is helping dress them and, get them all cleaned up and trying to run a brush through the little boy's hair who are just squirming and saying, "Ow." And her two elf parents are very busy doing this and that, preparing themselves, preparing the kids, trying to get breakfast out. And Sonny's mom pulls her off to the side. When you guys are just about ready to go, and Sonny's mom says, "Sonny, can you come talk to me, please?"
Yeah,
wanna-
am I
I
in
wanna-
trouble? I thought I did the braid correct.
Of course not, darling. And she walks outside and asks you to come with her, and she sits down on a little bench outside the front door and holds your hand really tightly, and she says, "Sonny, I know that, well, your father and I have done our very best, but I know we've put a lot on you, and you've been nothing but a help. We feel like you've been an adult for so long, and for a dwarf, you're just not that old yet. But I know it feels like you've been doing a lot of the work while your father and I are away doing our work, and we thank you so much for that. We couldn't have had a better daughter if it had been our very own. You're a blessing to us." And she pulls this little thing out of her pouch. It's a little clasp. And she says, "Sonny, we've waited a long time to give you this, but this is yours." She hands you a tiny dwarven clasp. And she says, I made you a new cloak to affix." And she says, "Hold on." She runs back inside and comes out with a cloak that she made it's a patchwork cloak, but it's made of nothing but the brightest colors, little swatches of material that you can tell she's not a great seamstress, but it took her a very long time. And you don't know how she fit this into her day, because clearly it probably took her forever, and she's been working on it maybe for years. She sits down and gives it to you. This is the best I could do, but I think it's going to be warm and comforting to you. And smell it. It smells like lavender that I sewed into it. Ah, what do you think?
Mom, this is beautiful. I've never seen you make anything like this before. I mean, you can't even cook a fish stew, but wow, this is great.
Thank you. And she gives you a big hug. "I love you so much, Sonny. I hate to think
You're squishing me.
that..." She lets go. "I hate to think that you might be leaving us soon, but the opportunities that are out there, I think you're going to really enjoy yourself.
Hope so. I
Anyway,
feel like there's a lot I don't know yet, so only
of
one way to
course,
find out.
exactly. You've got such the beautiful temperament. You're going to do great, whatever you try. You're going to just be a winner. Sonny, you are a winner.
You think I'll win today? Or in
I know
life?
you
Or
will. I know
always just
for everything. You're never going to lose with that attitude you've got, Sonny. We named you so appropriately, and she kisses you on the cheek.
uh,
This clasp was with you when we got you, when we took you home.
like I was holding it, or it's from
It's
my
from
birth
your
parents.
village. We we didn't know your birth parents, and I know we haven't discussed this much, but we didn't know your birth parents. The village that we took you from had been very heavily damaged, and the people in it were scattered, and there were some refugees, and people had fled from that place. I've never been to your village, don't get me wrong, but the lady, the woman, the family who rescued you from there said this was yours and gave it to me. And for years, I kind of forgot about it in hopes that I'd give it to you when you came of age. But that time has passed, and now I think this is the best opportunity. It'll hold your cloak just right, and it's a dwarven clasp that I'm not sure what it means, but it's yours.
It's very pretty. I mean, would be prettier if it was like pink or sparkly, but this will do. What happened to my village?
The rumors that we heard, the stories that we heard were different. But putting two and two together, we've looked into it. It seems that your village was raided by gnolls, something like gnolls, dog people, and they came in and smashed things and burned everything and killed people. It's
Why
not.
would they do that?
We don't know. But Sonny, you had a sister,
I do have a sister. She's inside right now.
right? You have. But when we got you, they said a different family adopted your sister, and we adopted
Wait,
you.
you mean
You have a real,
there's someone else?
yeah, and that your sister has a clasp just like this one.
Do you think she looks like me?
Probably,
Well, that would be so cool. Do you think she also likes puppets?
maybe.
Oh,
We've tried to find her. Your father and I have tried to find her for the whole time, almost 40 years, and we haven't. I, I'm sorry. We kind of lost. Your village was scattered in every which direction, and we live in Gladewell. We don't go that far. Your father has gone out looking, but didn't amount to anything. I just thought you would definitely want to know.
that is some good knowledge. I'd love to meet my sister. I mean, Laura is still my sister, right? But
Of course,
I'd like to meet
yes.
my
And I'm still your mom, and we'll love you forever. No matter how far you go, you'll always have a home.
Aw. So if I become very broke and I can't make my way in life, I can live here forever.
Sure you can.
Aw. Thanks, Mom. And I throw my arms around her.
And she pushes you off. I don't like kisses and hugs either.
You started it.
I know. I'm just teasing, and she hugs you back. No, I know you're going to go out there today and just do great. And
Yes.
and we'll be there watching and cheering for you. Um, gosh, we're proud of you. I can't have pictured a better daughter and a better person.
Aw, you've been great parents, and I hope I can make you proud.
And you hear from inside, she took my mama. And she says, all right, baby, you go knock them dead. We'll be down there after you. You can go first if you need to, or you can wait and help. Got more fires to put out.
Wait, knock
Yeah.
them dead? I thought I wasn't supposed to kill people.
No, you're not. You're just going to win. Go win. Not knock anybody dead. Go win.
Win.
You're going to win
Yeah.
everything. All right. See you soon. And she ducks back inside. And from there, as Sonny prances down the hill toward town, we go back to Rip's home in between the roots of the trees as Rip is preparing to go out for the day, and we'll catch them mid-conversation again.
Okay. So I'm so nervous. I'm still getting into character.
Come now, Rip. Let's go. I've been waiting for an hour now. What more can there be to prepare?
I know. I'm nervous. What if I get scared? What if I run away again?
Let me see. And he fixes your shirt. You look perfect. There's no reason to tarry. I don't want to miss the speech.
I know. You keep talking about all these friends you're gonna see and all your adventuring buddies that might be in town, and I know you're ready to go. Thanks for waiting for me. I'm so nervous.
Come now, boy. Steel
Okay,
your
okay.
nerve. Get your
Okay,
backbone
okay.
up. Here we
Oh my
go.
God, okay.
Are your
Okay,
shoes
let's go.
tied?
And then he
Make those knots
and ties them
strong.
really quick.
You'll be
Yeah.
running
Okay, I
and
think I'm ready.
chasing and
Yeah, they're strong.
performing today.
Yeah, strong like roots.
He grabs you by the shoulders. You are a man's man. You're a gnome's gnome. You are the best one out there, Rip. You'll show them.
Okay.
And he also pauses for a moment as you step out the door. Rip, I have one thing to tell you, my boy, that I've held on to for quite some time because I wasn't sure I should mention it. I knew you were coming here. I knew it. For there was a dream that came through my mind, a waking dream, that foretold your coming. It was the oddest thing. I was praying to the Dawn Father when something overcame me. A swirling vortex of mystical magic. I don't know how better to describe it. It was purples and pinks and oranges and perhaps some blues and someone spoke to me. And I know that it was not the Dawn Father, for that is not his way. My boy, I feel it was the Archheart, the god of magic, who told me into my head that your relative Rip is coming. Befriend him, care for him, prepare him. That was all. And the vision faded. And 1 week later, you appeared here. We know not how, yet you did.
Yeah. That's amazing. I know you get your magic from the forest. Do you think I could connect to the forest that strongly?
My boy, anything is possible if you have a connection. My connection is to the forest and to the sky and to the sunshine that beats down upon me whenever I step through the door. But I don't know. Have you a connection to someone somewhere? I don't know, my boy. I haven't seen it materialize yet.
Yeah.
By Jove, it might today!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I used to feel really connected to Illinum back in the village. But they were only there. When I got sent here, I don't know, I couldn't feel them anymore. I couldn't feel that
Different
magic
place,
anymore.
my boy, a different world. But Pip,
Yeah.
Pip, you shall destroy them all today. Well, not destroy, but you shall reign triumphant. I'm sure of it. I'm very sure. I'm so excited to see you. Let's see how fast you can run down the hill and back up to me. Go, boy, go! He slaps you on the back.
And I run all the way down the hill, scramble back up, kicking my feet behind me with my
So
arms.
fast.
Get back up.
You're lightning fast, my boy. Lightning
I feel
fast.
better. I feel better. I needed to
Now,
run. I feel better.
if we go down to the village and
Mhm.
no whining, no complaining, I shall sneak you a sip of some cider.
Okay.
Does
That
that
sounds
cheer
good.
you up? Be cheerful, boy.
Okay. It's just a lot of attention. It's a lot of attention on this little town. It's a lot all at once.
But as the mayor says, it is good attention as you guys are walking down the trail downhill. It's good attention. Now, let me tell you again about how beautiful that blue is. And he starts pointing up at the sky, and his monologue fades into the distance as you guys walk down the hill. And we're gonna all pull. Does anybody have anything to do before we get to the town square?
My dogs have finally stopped moving, for the love of God.
So we get to town square. Everybody's arriving. You see your friends from school. You see your buddies from town that you hang out with. Is anybody going to look for anyone else? Okay.
I'm probably going to keep an eye out for Stony, but generally just kind of following behind Pocket and all the people that they know and saying hi to everyone and just kind of, hey.
And so far, everybody's really nice, and they kind of think of you as someone from Gladewell at this point. You've been here long enough that you're a regular sight, tagging around with Pocket. You do see Stony. Do you go over to him, or Stony, when you see Rip, do you do anything?
Ah, Rip! So good to see you, but all the better to see me. That's the
Yeah,
joke.
you've been staying out of trouble?
Well, as much as anyone else, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you as well.
Yeah, just kind of been hanging around home, walking around the woods. Do you have any events you're going to do today?
Oh, so many. So many events that I'm going to do. Definitely. For sure. Going to do them all, maybe.
That's the spirit! That's the spirit, Stony! I've never heard you so excitable! And he pats you on the back.
Oh! Oh, careful.
He's
Careful.
much smaller than you are.
It's still, though, got those strong cleric arms. Like
Of course
you
I
always
do! Now, will you be fine together? All right, Rip, I'll go! I'll see you in a little while! And he wanders off. You've been the greatest!
Okay. Bye. Bye. Okay. Well, what should we do?
I don't know. I would rather like to see the festival food, but I know that my mother would scold me if I ate too many fried things, so maybe we could just look and see what's there and then come back later.
Sure.
Or we could do... Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Rip, for being there for me. in these trying times, or the times that we will try, for sure, to get a job. Wait,
Yeah.
what? You're here to are you going to get a job too, or you're
I think
looking
so.
to get into the festivities?
Yeah, Pocket really wants me to look into, some of the events and see if I can um get out there. He keeps saying get out there. They keep saying I should get out there. I don't really know what that means. But I guess I will try to get out there. Does that mean just like doing stuff? Just doing the events?
I suppose so. I have no idea what it means, but I'm just so happy to have a confidant with me, because boy, am I so nervous. I thought I was going to be so excited getting up in the morning, but oh my god, if I don't get a job, then how am I going to get rich or get all the magical items that I want in life?
Yeah. Yeah, that is important. I'm just curious to see what we can do. We didn't really have festivals like this back in our old village. So I'm kind of curious to see kind of all of it. I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, let's go into town and let's see if we can find Peter and his friends as well. And
Mhm.
of course, look at the food along the way.
Yeah,
So,
breakfast is always a good place to start.
so nothing is ready for eating yet because you guys hear trumpets blaring to start calling people into the market square, into town square. Pieta, what are you doing right now? Your friend Harry and Mary are nowhere to be seen.
If that is the case, I am lurking. I am like out of sight, kind of like not being the center of attention, just kind of looking, trying to see if there's a way I could just keep hidden
Yeah.
away from.
So
Yeah.
from between two houses, you see Rip and Stony are walking toward town square.
I like sprint to them, but then like calm myself as I get closer to them, and like kind of do this thing where he's like, all right, see you guys. Oh, hey guys,
Hey,
Ah,
hey, 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 Pieta.
hanging out. And anyways, how are you guys? What's going on? Can I hang with you? Can I stay hanging with you? Walk around with you?
Peter, why were you hiding?
What? Like, I like being called out. I wasn't hiding, man. I was sitting by
Okay,
myself,
sitting by yourself,
away from everyone.
away from everyone, in the shadows, in darkness
Yeah,
of the cover of
anyways,
darkness. Some would call that hiding, but I'm starting to see your new form of, what did you say? Sitting around?
yeah, it's a type of meditation. You should get into it. Anyways, Rip. Oh my gosh, we haven't talked in forever.
Hey,
How you been?
yeah. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? We were gonna go look at what food they're setting up if you wanted to come with us.
I'm so hungry now. I ate a bit ago, but now I feel like I have an extra like niche in my stomach that needs to be filled. Please let me walk with you guys.
Yeah, you guys walk around. There are trays of pastries out that people are grabbing as you enter into the market square. Free. Things are free today. And so you can grab hot tea or some other types of beverages, nothing alcoholic for the children, but lots of pastries and some dried meats and things like that. As you guys are doing that, what is Sunny up to?
would be walking to the center of town as well, but she's like hand in hand with a couple of her siblings and like dragging them along and kind of meandering around, just taking in the sights, stuffing various pastries into her siblings' mouths as we walk.
All right. Cool. Well, about that time, the trumpets ring out again, and you can see people are gathering together in front of a small stage set up in Town Square. And walking up onto the stage is the mayor of Gladewell. The mayor's name is Craig, and you guys know him as he's been the mayor for years. He's got gray hair, and he wears a thick hide armor for this celebration. He's normally not armored up, but right now he is. He's got a shield on one arm and a nice, beautiful carved quarterstaff in another, and he steps up on the stage, and his family gets up there with him, his wife, and Harry is up there behind him, dressed in his finest. And he boomp, boomp on the stage, and murmurs get softer and softer, and it spreads quiet out through the audience, and everyone's eyes are up on the stage. And the mayor says, "People of Gladewell, my people, as you know, for months, we've been preparing for this moment. We have been officially recognized by the great city of Iman as a village of worth." And everybody, yeah, everybody's cheering.
Ah, so loud, but huzzah!
Yes, yes, let me finish. Now, this will change things for us. And change can sometimes be a scary thing. But my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my people, we are ready for this change. A change toward the better. I present you Duke Anias Granbury of Iman. And everybody's clapping, and this guy that Pieta and his friends saw last night steps up on stage. As a reminder, he is got short brown hair, a short pointy beard, pointy little mustaches, and he's dressed in just this ostensible, is that the word I'm looking for? Ostentatious garb. He's got fur, he's got gold trim, he's got gold chain holding his mink stole around his shoulder. He is clean. He's probably the cleanest guy you've ever seen in this village. His shoes, his boots are shined. His belt buckle is shiny. And he's got the crowd behind him of people, his retinue. He's got two people in red, full red robes, two people in green robes, and two people in gray robes, as well as the soldiers have arrayed themselves in an attention formation. As he steps up on stage and he quiets the crowd until there's silence, you guys can smell the food wafting across the air. The banners are snapping in the breeze. The old flyers that have been on walls for months now announcing this day. Fresh paint on some houses. The tents on the hillsides and fields out beyond. All of these things are assailing your senses at once. Even the little kids are quiet. They stop running around. The adults that were very talkative and waving to each other as you walked up, they're silent and focused on this one man. He says, "Amazing! What a day! What a welcome! What a lovely people you are!" And he claps for everyone like this, and his retinue claps, and people in the crowd start clapping. "As you can see by the gathered dignitaries," and he gestures, and everybody looks to his left. And there are the tents in the distance, and you can see standing at the edge of the crowd all the people who came to evaluate and the people who are looking to take on internships, the people who came just for you on the edge. Some of them look like grizzled veterans. Some of them look like ancient sages. There's all manner of people over on the side. There are even 2 centaurs standing there. As you can see by the gathered dignitaries and assembled folk of all ilk, Iman is thrilled and honored to welcome you to our fold. And he bows to the crowd. Your village is joining a vast network of hamlets and villages and towns connected to our great city. You now have the open arms of Iman welcoming you into a world of learning, economy, trading, investing, and experiences you have only imagined. He turns around, coughs. He snaps his fingers and somebody hands him a glass of water. Thank you. Now, you have entered to a world where all is possible, and you are limited to only your wildest dreams. He pauses. Yes, your wildest dreams, and he starts to clapping himself. As a gesture of good faith, we will garrison a small group of soldiers nearby to act as guards against the wilds, should that be necessary. But in your case, it rarely is. Your town watch is superior, stupendous. That causes a little murmur through the crowd, but it stops pretty quickly. But even better, we have brought with us leaders of church, state, and institutions who will welcome your applications to learn, to grow, and to give back to the fair Gladewell. This village has been blessed for many years, prospering and happy as any. Iman is excited to share in brotherly love with you, our new siblings, and all such like across the realm. We have brought samples from far and wide, and with this, a couple of attendants walk up with trays of food and drink to show some of the trade you can look forward to. Taste, drink, play, be merry. This is the first day in a long and lasting partnership. He grabs a drink off of a tray. To Gladewell! Everybody starts yelling, to Iman! And not as many people, but enough start yelling. And the festivities begin, and the first thing is that you guys can just wander around eating and drinking and tasting things from all over Iman's vast
Before
reach.
we depart the crowd, I turn to Rip and Stony, and I just say, "Hey guys, I don't know, something about that guy. I don't trust him fully. Something is giving me the ick, you know? I can't really put my finger on it. Did you guys feel that, or is it just me?"
I mean,
Politicians.
That's probably it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's not from here. He's from that really big city. I don't know. Did you see anything weird?
No, I don't know. It's just something about him. Is that weird to say? That's probably weird to say. I don't know.
As the
Anyways.
festivities begin and you guys go around tasting, you know that the challenges, the tests, the games, those are all going to start soon. But for now, we pull away from the small village of Gladewell, and our vision shifts and climbs up the hill to the top of a wood-covered hill. The forest looms on top of this hill, uncut, untimbered, for generations. There are certain areas that the people have kept pristine. They won't log in them for their own, some of them to preserve it. Some of them because it's been saved for a long time so that when it comes of age, they can log it. because logging is an important part of Gladewell's economy. But from an unlogged part, an ancient part that overlooks the little village of Gladewell, we zoom in to the edge of the forest, and we see two bright eyes looking out. Now, on the top of this hill, the sound from Gladewell carries very smoothly. These eyes have situated themselves to catch the wind, and they can catch the sounds of Gladewell. Standing on the edge of the forest, a foot tentatively pokes out, then another. Standing there, half in the shadows of the forest and half in the sunlight, overlooking Gladewell. Juliet, can you describe your character?
Yes. So Fern is a young elf, almost on the edge of adulthood, but still in her youth. And she has long, green, wavy hair, dark, kind of like camouflaged into the foliage. She has bright green eyes. And she has this glint within them that you can tell she's full of life, but there's probably a little bit of mischief that's brewing in there as well. And as she's standing on the hill and looking down at the city, she has an acorn in her hand, and she's been playing with it and darting her eyes back and forth, and she sees a squirrel come out the side, and she throws the acorn, and the squirrel runs after it and picks it up and brings it back to her. And she starts to continue to do this over and over as she's listening to the sounds of the city below and the festivities. And she dials in with her eyes and looks at all the tents that are around and seems to be kind of mapping where people are and how to get to and from things. And as she's mapping, you can see her kind of absent-mindedly, not even really thinking about it. She's just moving closer and closer to the city, and a smile is creeping onto her face.
And we'll stop tonight's episode there with our 5 characters on the precipice of growing up. We'll pick up again on July 15th. That's in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching this YouTube show, if that's where you're seeing us. We are Zeros to Heroes for now. And we hope to have you next time with us. Thanks a bunch. Bye, everybody.